Okay, so here we are with 2-1, and we're looking at example 1 here. And this is going to be similar to the kinds of things that I'm asking you to do on your homework. I'm going to be asking you to highlight things, practicing reading that notation, and identifying those things in diagrams. So the first one is asking you to highlight QR, and it has the line over the top of it. So remember that line over the top of it, this means line segment, or just segment QR. Segment QR, we are going to highlight in purple because that's what we did in. And I'm just going to highlight QR in purple over here so I can match those colors easily. So QR is ending point Q, ending point R. And the first thing I'm going to do is just make these points a little bit more defined because I can't really tell where they are. So I'm just going to draw those points in. All right, so QR is going to be from endpoint to endpoint, not including the arrow, because there's no arrow on top of that notation, which makes sense. Part B over here is asking me to highlight QS, and that one has a line with one arrow. So remember, the line with one arrow means the ray. That's ray QS. So ray QS is that endpoint Q all the way including that arrow, because the notation has one arrow on it. So one endpoint to one arrow. C, our notation changes a little bit, and we start to have that, what you might be thinking of as a less than sign, but remember, that's not a less than sign, that's the angle. That's talking about angle PQR. So angle PQR, I'm going to highlight that in yellow, would be PQR, that angle in yellow there. And then when we're talking about the measurement of that, the measure of angle PQR is right there. Is that space between the opening there. Which makes sense because when we talked about the angle, we said the angle was the opening between two things. So that opening between those two rays is that angle. And last but not least, D is asking for angle PQS. I guess we'll try pink, see how that works out. Angle PQS. So again, I'm just going to reiterate that that is, again, talking about the angle PQS. So angle PQS, and this is going to get a little tricky. Maybe I'll just highlight it in orange instead. Angle PQS would be PQ and then S. So not too bad, I guess.